Okay, so good people at Signature sent me across the new film Into the Deep. Right? It is directed by Christian Sesma and written by Chad Law and Josh Ridgway. The film is produced by Damon Hillin, executive produced by Jonathan Bross, Matthew E. Charus, Jordan Dystra, Chad Law, Christian Sesma, Joe Simpson, Amar Singh, Ellen S. Wonder, and Simon Williams. It is co-executive produced by Sav Lanan, Stella Dreyfus Wolf. That's probably Stella Dreyfus Wolf. Co-produced by Evangelo Kizousis and associate produced by Brooklyn Bruce. Andy Froseberry took care of the music. Cinematography, we have Niccolo Della Ferre. Eric Potter was behind all the editing. Stunts are handled by Jackrit Kanakapajanjanonon. And our cast. Right, so we have got Richard Dreyfuss as Seamus. Right, his daughter, no, his, I think his daughter, I believe, is Nancy, played by Anna Maria Demara. Her daughter, Cassidy, right, is played by Scout Taylor-Compton, right? A younger version of of Cassidy at 9 is played by Quinn P. Hensley, and Cassidy at 6 is played by Nina Padovan. Right, we got Cassidy's husband, Greg, played by Callum McGowan. Right, Greg's friend, Damon Benz, played by Stuart Townsend. Right, his first mate on the boat, Kai, is played by Mek Mambut, and he's two of Greg's friends. We've got Ed, played by David Gray, and Ed's girlfriend, Itzara, played by Lorena Sarria. Then we have got Jordan Devane, right, played by Jon Seda. He's our pirate captain, as it were. And I think his crewmates, there's Apache, played by Tofan Pirani. Chucky, played by Ron Smoorenburg. Chasan, played by Tom O'Connell. Pierre, played by Maverick Kang Jr. Lei, played by Panason Manesang. That is our cast. Right, the gist of the story. Modern day pirates on the hunt for sunken drugs kidnap a boat of tourists and force them to dive into shark-infested waters to retrieve the contraband. Right, that's the story. Now, we start off with Cassidy as a little kid. Right, Cassidy as a little kid she's swimming with her dad and her mum, and everything is great. They're having fun, splashing about in the water. Obviously, right? You know something is amiss, right? You know something's gonna go wrong, obviously, right? And actually, I think Pierre is actually Cassidy's dad. Yes, I think. Yeah, I think I mixed that up. But anyway, yeah, they're all swimming. Suddenly, there's a shark attack. Right, so shark attack. The mum gets Cassidy on board, but dad gets eaten. Then we jump forward, right? So Cassidy now is waking up from a nightmare, right? She's been dreaming about this, waking up, looks fresh to death, you know what I mean? Like brand new pajamas, makeup, hair all lit. But yeah, then her and her husband Greg, they're going out, right? He works for a museum. Well, he's doing a job for a museum to get some treasure. And so they're going to meet his friend who owns the boat. Right? And they're on the boat. And that all leads to sharks and craziness. Right? Now, while we're doing all of this, they get a report of, there's pirates in these waters, supposedly. Right? Pirates in the waters. So you think, okay, if you know there are pirates around, there are certain precautions you would take. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's things that you look out for. Not here. Right? Not here. Which is bonkers. It's bonkers. So we have these weird story plots, but also we have these flashbacks, right? So flashbacks of Cassidy as a little girl and her uncle, granddad, probably granddad, right? Yeah, Seamus, teaching her to overcome her fear of the water and the sharks in the water. Right? So we have this, and we keep on flashing to these. Well, at the beginning we do. It kind of then stops the frequency as we get later into the film. But at the beginning, there's a lot of these flashbacks that are very weird, right? There's one where Seamus is talking about how he was taught, that the ocean was dangerous. And he'd be like, this guy, and he didn't talk, and he would just go, boo, boo, boo. And you're just like, wait, why? Why are we getting this? They were very weird. And the the crazy thing about all of these flashbacks, Seamus doesn't age. Right? Doesn't age. They've at least got a different actor to play Cassidy as a little girl. As I say, a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old. So we got Cassidy, different ages. But yeah, Seamus does not age. Get another actor to play him at different stages, at least. Or do something more to change up Dreyfus. But they do not. It is very bizarre. It's very, weird flashbacks, weird age situations. But then just the story itself. You know exactly what's going to happen in this story. I think when you have characters that we know nothing about, those people ain't surviving the film, right? They're not surviving the film. They're just there as cannon fodder or shark bait with this, you know what I mean? So we have that. But also, like, there's this bit in the water, and like, you've got these people taking weird photos, right? Weird photos. But we are lingering way too long on all of this. So it's just like, okay, so a shark's going to come soon. Like, otherwise, why are we looking at this? There's no reason, right? It's a pointless shot. And obviously, yeah, then sharks come, right? But what is weird? I mean, there's so many weird things. There's so many weird things. You know, it's like, suppose in the synopsis, it's like they go back to the waters where her dad died. So you're going back to these waters where a shark has attacked, right? Killed your dad. But there's no fault of sharks could still be here. Right? There's no fault of sharks could still be here. You know, I kind of feel once you've seen a shark somewhere, there's potential for more, right? It's not like, oh yeah, they never came back. You know what I mean? A shark ate someone in these waters and then never came back. No, they always come back at some point. You know? It might not be as regular. They might not decide just to camp out there 24/7, but they will be back. But there's no fault of more sharks. No fault. Which is, you're scratching your head. You're like, huh? What? You also think people that dive on the reg, have an understanding of, okay, if we see sharks, this is what we do. You know what I mean? These things attract sharks, right? This behavior, this is how I kind of minimize myself getting eaten. I mean, pretty much, if you see a shark in the water, yeah, I mean, you know, chances are you're dead, but there's things that you probably do. Yeah, I mean, I think one thing they say, don't splash, right? Stop kicking and splashing, all of that jazz. So you think people have that. But the way some of these people act, you were just like, wait, what? What are they doing? It doesn't make any sense, right? Doesn't make any sense. Also, it doesn't make any sense that there's no real proper first aid on the boat, right? They've got a shark cage on the boat. So, you know what I mean? Look, you're doing this regularly, you know, and Damon says, oh yeah, I take tourists down to, you know, see sharks and blah, blah, blah. So you'd think, okay, if anything goes sideways, and it's not even if someone gets, you know, a limb bit off, but, so, you know, people are dumb. They might have something sticking out of the cage. It might get like a nip, a bite, a scratch. So you'd think, right, I want bandages. I want, you know, morphine to take away the pain. Like, just things. You'd have things on the boat, but there's nada, nothing. Probably a few plasters. That's it, right? So you're just like, what? Huh? What? This is weird. So you have all of these story, you know, points that don't really add up, weird flashbacks, and then just dialogue that is ropey. Like weird, like when Greg meets up with Damon at the boat, right, and brings Cassidy along, and then they meet the others and all of this. Those interactions are just clunky as hell. clunky as hell. You're just like, wait, was this, the first draft dialogue you wrote while on the toilet? You'd be like, this is a placeholder, and then you forgot to change it. Because it's weird. It's weird all the way through the dialogue. Just, you're dealing with pirates, you're dealing with bad guys, right? But you have all of these people just shouting at them. And you're like, they've got guns pointed at your head. You ain't shouting at these people. Like, what are we doing? Like, no one's going to be shouting at these pirates with guns. It is bizarre. Like, we don't really get an explanation why things aren't put into the cage. Because that's the whole thing. It's like, the weight issue and a certain person going in the cage because of the weight and all of this jazz. Do you think, okay, we've had this argument, so why aren't they going in the cage? Right? There's just these things that make absolutely no sense. Right? We have sharks that seem to have selective taste. That's all I'm saying on that front. But it's just like, hold on. What? Right? For all the shark attacks, we see blood in the water, which obviously, yes, you would, right? Apart from the first one. In the first shark attack we see, there's no blood, which is very odd. There's no blood. And like, what? So yeah, just these weird things. And a shot to the face. That's all I can say, right? But just a shot to the face? What? And the Coast Guard. I don't understand what the Coast Guard are doing. Right? Because again, if you know pirates are in these waters, there's precautions, there's things you would be doing. Oh my days. Like, Into the Deep is it's an odd film. It's an odd film. It's one of those ones that I think, if you're a fan of, shark films, and we've had a number of these shark films that we have looked at. I mean, what was it? Under Paris? Under Paris. That was a classic, right? Then there was, I think, Last Breath. I think we looked at, like, there was a point last year, I think it was like round about June, right? I think end of May going into June, where there just seemed to be a glut of shark films, right? So I think if you're a fan of these films, then you'll probably get some enjoyment out of Into the Deep, right? It's one of those films that feels like it's that B movie, that straight to VHS joint from back in the day. The music feels weird. The song choices don't seem to fit, and especially at the very end, because at the very end of the film, as the credits start, and you think, wait, is this a cutscene? But no. It's Richard Dreyfuss, and he's giving a talk about shark conservation, which is all well and good. It's fine. It feels real out of place. They've got music playing, so that's a big distraction. It's annoying music as well. And it just doesn't, it's just a weird addition to the film. But yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. Into the Deep, right? So it is available on all your favorite VODs right now. And from the 3rd of February, you will be able to buy it. So, yeah, again, if you're a fan of shark films, right? If you have, probably, if you have digested some of the films written by Josh Ridgway and Chad Law, you'll probably enjoy it, right? Because, they had looks like they've got a crocodile film from a couple of years ago. You got something with Dolph Lundgren. You know what I mean? Like, they write that kind of, straight HS film. So if you're a fan of those, right? If you're a fan of their work, you're a fan of the director, Into the Deep could be for you, right? Sharks eating people, modern day pirates. It's all there, people. It is all there. Okay, so yeah, enjoy Into the Deep.